Change. It's a concept that's integral to our world. It includes everything from the developments in our character over the years to the differences in circumstance we experience from one moment to the next. Today, I want to talk with you about change, how it affects us, the highs and lows of its impact, and how we can better handle this uncontrollable aspect of our lives. We're gonna go on a little roller coaster of emotions, so for this video, I'll start by saying, if you're here, I love you. You're a salty little sailor swimming on the old salted sea, and I respect that. But without further ado, let's change up our discussion, huh? Here we go. Every second, the world around us undergoes subtle differences in its composition. Day by day, year by year, everything diversifies. It looks different, feels different. If you even reflect for a split second, I'm sure you can recognize some of the changes you've experienced in your life from your infancy until now. You've witnessed a myriad of alterations to your mind, body, beliefs, feelings. So much has happened. Change and time go hand in hand. Both elements of the world that play a large role in the flow of our existence. Both allow us the opportunity to experience new and exciting things. Through change, we can witness the world become brighter, our ambitions come to fruition, and venture on new fantastic voyages. However, while the new and novel can be exhilarating, they can also be utterly devastating. See, even though it happens all the time, change can be scary. It can be heartbreaking, and ultimately, it can and sometimes does cause brutal pain. As we navigate through the seasons of our lives, we gain responsibilities, are placed in new environments, and time seems to increasingly speed up. The days are long, but the weeks become shorter and shorter. People come and go. We see people we care about age, and as time goes on, we have to face the excruciating reality that nothing lasts forever. Many of us may reminisce about our childhoods, seeing them become increasingly inaccessible. We may lose contact with others, and at some point or another, we have to say goodbye to what we've become comfortable with as time's arrow keeps marching on. It can be hard, and frankly, it can suck. Now, I promise this video will have a happy ending, but as someone who loves the nuance of being and the trials and tribulations of this life, I want to really explore how painful the process of change can be first. Change can feel slow, but it all goes by so quickly, and in a single moment, everything can be different forever. There was a time we were all innocent, vulnerable children, looking to the shining future in which there was infinite possibility. We had people and animals that we looked up to, cared about, felt safe with. Do you have any memories of the good old days? Times when you may have laughed with friends, felt deeply in love with someone, were surrounded by family, people who would do anything for you. I think many of us reminisce about past memories and wish we could go back and live those days just one more time. Maybe it was playing video games online with friends, having an awesome sports match that made you feel on top of the world. Your first kiss, a deep talk with a mentor that made you feel loved. Maybe it's a moment you flew high on the swing set or just had an experience in which everything felt perfect. And yet, that moment is gone. You can't relive it in your everyday life, and your memory of that event, all the details, will deteriorate, and eventually, that joyous memory will pass on when you die. And unfortunately, everything we love and care about will die too. It all fades away. Nothing lasts forever. I am being 100% sincere when I say that this is one of the hardest parts of life in my eyes. And what better way to illustrate how tough I believe this is than by sharing my own struggle with some of the changes I've experienced before I let my natural optimism make the pendulum swing. Trust me, we will smile more again in a second. But let me be real with you really quickly. I grew up in Albuquerque and went to a very small private school. We had a class of roughly 20 kids on average who collectively went through preschool all the way to 8th grade together. Every subject, every day. And these were some of the only friends I'd ever really known. I was shy and had a lot of trouble making friends. It never came easy to me. However, these other kids, despite our rivalries and bickering, really did experience everything with me. They were family. But the year before 8th grade, I had to move to another state. I couldn't finish the journey I started with them. And when I moved, they still largely were my only friends, but now I couldn't connect with them in the same way. I had to start over, alone, and never really mastering the art of making friends. It took years before I had finally established a new friend group to belong in. Then, again, I graduated high school and moved away. This time I was able to make new friends, but time got quicker. Everyone I met left sooner, even though the time we spent together was roughly the same as my previous friendships. I loved my friends I met in college, but graduation came once again, and the entire world I knew of radically shifted. I moved again, now further away from the girl I'd been dating, my best friend and roommate for years who I shared so much joy and laughter with, moved across the country, and my parents moved back to New Mexico. Now, I live with one of my best friends from high school and one of my best friends from college, but everything's different. Long gone are the all-nighters of my friends and I playing Halo and Call of Duty in our youth. No more can I sit with my parents and talk about the day and watch silly movies every night. I can't go and knock on the door of one of my best buddies to convince him to go on adventures with me and talk about love, life, and loss. I used to go to the gym at our college recreation center and see all my friends, but now I work out at my busy local gym alone. I see my family get older, knowing one day I'll have my last dinner with them before they're gone without me even knowing it. And it's hard. The partner you're in love with may in an instant become a stranger. A loved one may be taken in a car accident. You can't predict it. Change can happen in an instant. And I'm not the only one who's struggled with change. It's part of all of our lives to deal with these radical shifts, evicting us from our comfort zones. Popular songs like 7 Years Old by Lucas Graham, Going Through Changes by Eminem, Landslide by Fleetwood Mac, Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin. Frankly, more pieces of art than I can list from shows and movies. For me, notably the final episode of Midnight Gospel, all discuss the brutality of change. All of us, at some point or another, have to face the fact that nothing lasts forever. But that's not the end of the story. You see, while change can foster pain and difficulty because of how hard transitions can be, it's also the driving life force of our adventure. The fuel for what makes life so beautiful. Sometimes it may seem tragic that we can't stay in one place forever, but ultimately, change keeps things interesting. It harbors the way that we grow as individuals and manifest enriching stories. If the hero just stayed at home the whole time, they'd never achieve the greatness they're destined for. Plus, moving on from previous experiences doesn't mean we lose them. because they'll always live on in our hearts, and the lessons we learn can inspire others, change lives, and cultivate wisdom. When we were little kids, safe and vulnerable, we had no idea what fantastic experiences we would one day have. Returning to my own life as an example, moving from Albuquerque, I never could have imagined the amazing friendships I would make in high school and college, all the silly debauchery, breathtaking moments, and pure serenity I could have the blessing of witnessing through my adventures. Change was scary, but it allowed me the opportunity to meet people and do things that have made it all so worth it. The entire reason I started this video off with such a negative, downtrodden tone was because it mirrors the journey I had with my own perceptions and view of the world. There was once when I became deeply depressed because nothing lasts forever, and the pain we experience can be so intense. But now I see that I had it backwards. The beauty of life can be so unfathomably euphoric and wonderful, and the dark times and pain don't last forever. Change is hard, but I don't think it needs to be feared. It's our loyal companion that helps us explore and see the most of this infinite universe. And even though it took me quite a long time to figure it out, I now understand that always looking in the rearview mirror makes us miss out on the breathtaking view all around us in this moment. The fact that things won't last forever in the same ways gives us an undeniable reason to value them while they last. Every moment is a once-in-a-lifetime experience that we should cherish the spectacle of. Take a second to appreciate where you are. Everything around us adjusts. New challenges arise, and yet we are always right here. The past is unreachable. The future is unimaginable, and yet the time is always right now. If you want to make the most of this short, incredibly valuable life, you have to be here now. Because ultimately, while nothing lasts forever, nothing is lost and everything is to gain. And I'm glad that you and I are still on this ever-expansive adventure. Aging, time's arrow, everything allows us to constantly be able to develop our perspective in new ways, continue to learn, and allow our humility and appreciation for each moment to blossom. You may be struggling with a change right now yourself, and that's okay. This moment of animosity will make you stronger in the end, and this challenge won't last forever. One day you'll conquer it. You'll smile once again, and that's all thanks to the beauty of change. I loved the good old days, but I wouldn't go back even if I could. We all have the ability to be grateful for the glorious times we had and the amazing people we've met without being stuck in the past. I believe in you, and I'm proud of the progress you've made. And if you ever feel alone, I'm here for you. You can reach out to me anytime. We all go through some hell, but we can use our suffering as grist for the mill in making us more kind, compassionate, patient, and appreciative. I wanted to make this video to demonstrate how difficult I believe changes are and how brutal the experience of life is, but that ultimately it's all beautiful in its own ways and that we get to choose how we view things. Every moment is an opportunity for us. We get to choose how we react to the world around us and how we engage with our environment and others. Don't worry. Be as happy as you can be. It'll all be okay. Thank you for watching. I love you, and remember, we're all in this together. Oopy goopy stippy stoopy. Keep smiling, my friend.